Welcome to episode 24 of Final Fantasy. This part, we're just gonna kind of get prepared for the next dungeon a little bit and then head that way. Because if you remember, when I picked up the warp cube from behind the waterfall, I mentioned that was one of 2 items you need. But we couldn't get the other one because we needed to get the Rosetta Stone before we could get that, so that we can understand Lupagami do. We need to know what mysterious ways those people live by. Need to know and understand the meaning of those sacred words. Or whatever those words are. Honestly, we're never going to figure out what Lupagami-do really means, because they all say it before you translate their language, and, well, they all say different things afterwards. Well, we have to get through some monsters first. I probably could have cut these, but why not? Why not show some encounters in some episodes? Even if we've seen them before, you know? Otherwise, it's just me wandering around doing a whole lot of nothing, really. It'll break up some of the monotony. But we have to come here, of all places, first. Melmond, the place of rotting earth, because I didn't talk to him earlier. Because I always forget he's here. But that, like, Professor Un, or whatever that guy's name was. Yeah, Un. He's studying the ancient language, and he knows what the Rosetta Stone means. We can now take centuries of study and condense it into at least a couple of years. I mean, he's got to go through his notes and compare this to that, and, oh, he just learned it right away. And he's just going to teach the 4 of us right away in a little silly scene. Yeah, now we can just speak the language. Well, mine wasn't that efficient. As I said, I probably should have taken at least a few years, maybe a decade. Just comparing things, and oh, by the way, we only translated their written language. And how now are we gonna be able to speak it? All we learned to do is read it. Oh, stop bringing too much logic and sense into it. It's just a silly little plot thing. You have to go to the water temple first before we go to the floating fortress. Underwater shrine, that is. And 4 Berettas, this is gonna be tough. Hope they don't. Oh well, there's one of them, and that wasn't a bad damage roll for us to get. But our 4 warriors couldn't kill them each, but well. And thus Marysu's silent wrath begins. Her bright and shiny wrath upon this land. So, we're approaching the Lufinian city now, speaking of using level 8 magic to crush your opponents. I never actually knew this before, but down there in Lufinia, oh, and I might as well nuke these guys as well, there's a hidden shop with more level 8 magic in it that I never knew about. So, I don't go there. I never knew about it. That's kind of neat, but there's a little hole in the wall, I guess, that you can walk through and find a store. Well, I say I guess. I went there to check. But this guy's teaching us about our airship, and it was built by one of their ancestors. A man named Sid. What do you mean, Sid? He's not in this game. I had to put him in the game. This is Sid. You idiot. That can't be the truth. Stupid remake. Retroactively adding Sid. So I thought I was clever when I added Sid. Turns out I was not so clever. It wasn't really that clever in the first place. Oh, but these guys, they're ancient and wise. And they've deducted that there's maybe another entity behind the four fiends. And that there might be like some sort of final boss or whatever that is actually in control here. Well, that's an interesting little deduction. According to this guy, they sent 5 warriors out to determine this, and apparently they were cursed and turned into bats. I wonder if we've ever been into a room where there have been 5 bats. I don't know. I can't remember. This guy's gonna give us the chime, though. That's gonna get us into the Mirage Tower, which is the access point to the Flying Fortress. And actually, those 5 bats and the entity behind this, they are somehow connected. We might see why. We might have already seen why. I will keep my secrets. And now we get to the part where I really should have cut stuff out, but... well, I guess I just wasn't thinking about it. Okay, sorry about that. Had to quiet that cat up. Darn animals. Always interrupting things at the worst possible moment. So what's her body count up to in this episode? I think it's at like 8 or 9 right now. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was 8. And this will produce 9. She doesn't go before anybody else. She was on a roll. She was on a roll, I tell you. She's trying to be some different kind of Marysu. One that is less precious and more dangerous. Well, you get to be that way when you can cast Holy and use the power of the sun to smite the undead. Can't do so much against an Allosaurus. This one Holy is not enough. As you can see, the single target melee attackers are really out-damaging your AoE attacks at this point. Except on, you know, multiple weak things. I'm not calling it useless, I'm just saying this is why I do things the way I do. Because they're fine enough against those small things, but against the bosses I really would rather focus on hitting one target as hard as humanly possible. So, big desert.
Are we almost there yet?
Probably like another 5 minutes or something. The sun sucks.
butthole.
You said it. So, I guess now we get to see what this tower's about. We've only flown over this huge desert and seen this tower enough, but we'll do that next time. So, I'll see you later. Have a good day.